We recently launched the Liberation Martial Arts Online for trainers, collectives, and individuals that were looking for a program to follow that was chud-free, or perhaps one that came directly from us. Thanks to Kyla Cruz, Danielle Duro, and Sir Libert Jr. for signing up. If you would like to sign up for Liberation Martial Arts Online, or you just want to increase your financial support for the Southpaw Project, you can find special tiers on our Patreon. This episode was produced by SH, M. Shelton, and New Guy. This is Sam.
And this is Fight Study.
Three different matches, three different mindsets. Let's enter the mind of Alec Baulding. Part 1. Fighting your rival.
I ended up fighting a really well-known and famous guy named Benny Del Rouche, who's a top 10 lightweight in UFC right now. But back in the day, we used to just fight all the time, so I was a little nervous. I had competed at the Pans before as a purple belt, maybe the year prior, and I didn't have the success that I wanted. Coming into this match, I felt like I had a lot to prove to myself. I only did like local tournaments. I hadn't won like a big tournament at this point. Man, I wanted so badly to like place, and I was going through, some personal stuff. And like jiu-jitsu was kind of what centered me. I was nervous, but I felt like at this point I was ready. And so coming up into this match, to be able to make it to the finals of a purple belt division, I just couldn't believe it. Years prior, I believe I was fighting a kid named Honus Gracie, who had a really great guard, and he played very similar to Benny. And man, I remember I couldn't do anything. And I lost my first year of purple belt, the World Championships in 2007. So I put a lot of time and effort into just learning the position and learning what to do. So by the time I'm here fighting Benny, I'm a lot better. I know like how to move better. I know like my positioning. I know like what the guy's looking for, his attacks. I lost so many times coming up into this match that I just was so hungry to prove myself. I'm in the finals. I'm ready to go. This is my time. And that's what I was just thinking. This is my time. Looking back, I'm still kind of rough around the edges. The basics of my style kind of being formulated here. Benny's holding my sleeve. He's controlling my lapel on the same side. So that's the collar sleeve guard. And I'm trying to grab his other leg, but he's fighting very hard, and he's trying to get that omoplata on the same side as the collar sleeve. I have better options now, but at the time, I would just kind of hunker down and just block that omoplata. No matter what, block the omoplata. Again, I practiced a lot. I knew the positions very well. I knew the attacks. I was ready. I was ready to go into this match, and I was ready for everything. No matter what the guy was going to throw at me, no matter what Benny was going to throw at me, I was going to shoot it down no matter what. And the whole time I'm just defending. I'm defending a lot. You don't need to be perfect. That's something that I guess I kind of realized starting out, you're never going to be perfect, but when you start to have success in jiu-jitsu or anything, you're going to get harder on yourself. You're going to be harder on yourself because you have such higher expectations. Everyone's going to expect more from you, and you begin to expect more from yourself. Benny tried to kick my leg out, but I did this cool little sprawling move, like split move. And I remember thinking like, man, I didn't train this part. I just kind of did it. That's one reason I like competing, because when you compete, like, you really tap into this inner self, and like, you're gonna see these techniques, you're gonna perform these movements and techniques that you never even thought about doing, and it just works. I've learned so much from tournaments just because I'll do something in the tournament and then I'll go later on like, man, this worked really well. I'm gonna add this to my game. There's so much just about the human brain and the human body we don't understand, so always rely on your technique no matter what, 100%, but there's something inside of us, a little bit of greatness inside of us, that if you trust it, something great's gonna happen. You're gonna just have this experience that you can't control 100%, and that's just kind of life. Jiu-jitsu has taught me more outside of competing and outside of martial arts than it's ever taught me about technique and training and competing. It's been more just about living my life, learning how to live my life. He had like a little attack, almost like he's going to invert for the omoplata. I was able to step over and attack his arm for like an armbar kind of crucifix position. And so we're at this like kind of stalemate position where he has my arm, but I have his arm. I just really believed in myself, and I wasn't gonna let go, no matter what. Don't let go. I didn't train this at all. There was no training, there was no drilling this technique. I just saw an opportunity, and with my training, I was able to take advantage of it. And again, that's life. You're gonna see these opportunities, and hopefully you're prepared. Hopefully you've been working on yourself and accruing knowledge so that you can take advantage of those opportunities. Again, I could have easily, gotten out of position and lost the whole match. And maybe this whole match would have changed my whole life. I don't know. But I was just very persistent, and that's been my approach to jiu-jitsu this whole time. It doesn't matter, if I'm athletic or strong or fast or, super talented. Like, I've always known that I had to work hard to just to progress. I get bored like everyone else. I get sick of doing the same moves all the time. But I understand, like, that's where you're gonna get good. It's when you're practicing and you don't want to be there. When you go to the academy and you're tired, you feel a little sick or down, or maybe something outside of your life is kind of affecting you and you don't really want to be there. That's when you need to be there. It's easy to go and train when you feel 100%, you feel great, you feel strong, you feel pumped up. But those days when you're down and you feel out of it and you're off and you don't feel like motivated, that's when you're gonna test yourself. You're gonna see what you're made of, who you are as a person. Like, who am I? That's something that I come across every tournament I see. I get to see a reflection of myself and how I react under pressure. I was attacking that arm, I was on that arm, and Benny let go of my arm to get out. I kept going for it, and I didn't know if I would get it or not, but man, I went for it. And he tapped out. And I'll never forget this moment. I won, and then I just jumped up. And then I was just so excited. I just jumped up again and just slammed myself on the mat. This is it. This is like what I've been working towards for so many years. This is why I was getting my butt kicked by Cobrinha. This is why I was getting beat up by Chris Moriarty, by Ian McPherson, by Darren Roberts, by Chase Wheaton. This is why Jacare pushed me so hard. it could easily have been me on, on the losing side, and it has been me on the losing side. I was just happy, just so happy to just have that one thing, just that one win made like all the hard work worth it.
Part 2. Fighting the World.
The 2017 Black Belt Europeans against Izaki Bahinis, I can't say his last name. The 2018 World Champion. When you're in the semifinals for Black Belt, in the match they have 3 referees, so I always try to take my time and shake all the referees' hands. Always show respect. And then I go to shake Izaki's hands. He's super focused. He's in a low squat. He's ready. The beginning of the match with Izaki, we both kind of get our grips. I definitely respected him, but in my head, I kind of knew that, a new black belt's probably going to make a lot of mistakes. Whenever you're fighting someone this caliber, like, you can't underestimate them, but you also need to believe in yourself. My weight was off, so on Saturday I went to watch a few matches, and then I had to go and cut a lot of weight, maybe 3 or 4 kilograms. So I just got to a point where I didn't really care about anything, I was just sitting in the sauna, and I really just hated all the people I was going to compete against the next day. In my head, it was because of them I had to cut all this weight. I mean, it was my own fault, but in my head, because I'm sitting in that sauna for a few hours, maybe 4 or 5 or 6 hours, and I'm just thinking, man, I hate all these people because I had to sit in this sauna and cut all this water weight. Normally, I'm not super aggressive, but that made me very aggressive. I was just very angry. I wasn't taking my anger out on my opponents. That's not the proper way to do jiu-jitsu. But I really wasn't going to take any shit from anybody that day. I've been the underdog a lot in my career. Just fighting bigger opponents or more well-known opponents. I'm just used to it at this point. They're going to come into the match. They're going to underestimate me. And I mean, that's fine. That's fine. But it just happened to be that one day where I was just man, I wasn't going to take anything from anybody. And it didn't matter if this kid was good. It didn't matter if the other guys were good. I was just going to go and do my best and give it my all. And I wasn't going to hold back. I wasn't going to wait on the other guy to move. I was going to move. I'm just kind of sticking on him. I'm not really giving him anything. I'm not going to pull guard because I don't want to pull guard. I'm not just going to get taken down easily because I don't want to get taken down. I don't want to say I'm stubborn here, but I'm just taking my time because I know that he's going to, if I wait long enough, he's going to make a mistake. I was so sure of this, before the match and during the match, if I just take my time, he's going to get frustrated and he's going to do something very big. I just had this feeling that whole tournament, man, nobody's going to stop me today. And when you feel that way, you got to believe in it. There's been tournaments where you might fight someone and you're better than the person. You're better than the person. But man, it's just their day, You see it all the time. There's always someone who's just on fire. And it was just my day that time. I had been fighting a lot up until this point, and it was just the right circumstances. And I was there and I was ready to take advantage of those circumstances. I'm kind of shooting a little bit, but not committing too much. He's shooting a little bit, but not committing too much. I just knew if I just waited and I was patient that, man, the opening's gonna come. The opening's gonna come. I don't need to rush anything. And you know, when you're so into the match, like you don't see the referee, you don't see the scorecard, you don't even think about your opponent. You're just focusing on what you need to do. That's the purest form of jiu-jitsu. It's like not thinking, you just know what you need to do. I just wasn't gonna back down today. I wasn't gonna back down to Izaki. You know, he's pushing, I'm pushing, he moves, I move. And so I'm just waiting. I know it's gonna come. I know it's gonna happen. I know he's gonna become impatient. Now he's got a grip on my elbow and my lapel. I kind of feel like something's gonna happen. You know, he's gonna try to pull something. I keep moving. I move a little bit more. He tries to do a leg trip and I jump over his leg. Now he's off balance, but I keep my grips. He tries to recompose, but I'm still moving. I'm not stopping. He gives up the recompose to turn his back, and that's my opportunity. I jump and I go straight to body wrap. And from the body wrap, I go straight to the seatbelt grip. And this is my position. This is a position I've worked for years on. This is a position that, man, I know I can beat anybody in. Doesn't matter who they are. If we end up here, I know I can finish. And so we're here. We're kind of stalemated for a little bit. I have Izaki's arm trapped. I just know that I can finish him. I know it. Izaki, I think he's pretty confident here, but I just know this is my position. I'm not going to give up. I remember my friends were like, go for it. But I'm kind of relaxed. And so he's trying to sit up into my side. I know if I let go, he's gonna get out. Every time he moves, I rock with him. He tries to sit up and I rock forward with him. And the whole time I'm pulling on his lapel. And as he rocks forward one more time, I rock all the way up. Kind of got the choke, but I'm kind of on my side a little bit. But I know if I can get out, I got him. So here I'm trying to block his leg. I want to block his body. And I start to escape myself out. I know I got the choke. I tighten my choke. I know he's going to have to give up eventually. Boom. I know I got him. He rolls and the choke goes tighter. He's got to tap out because that's it. 3 minutes. That's all it took. I wouldn't say that match changed my life, but it definitely showed who I am. It just showed that I wasn't here to play around.
Part 3. Making peace with yourself.
Willie Leonard, Big Willie from Lloyd Irvin's, purple belt. This is the absolutes. I had already won the Worlds earlier, maybe the day before, so just wanted to go out there and have fun. Because I already did what I wanted to do. I proved what I wanted to prove. I'm just very relaxed and just happy to be out there. Just kind of jumping around, just staying warmed up and just staying loose. I'm fighting this really huge guy, so my thought process was, hey man, don't let this guy grab me. Just ready to break grips and move around, and I'm squatting very low, kind of looking to see if I can get an opening, and he's following me a little bit. Just got a big smile on my face, you know. I'm already a world champion now, so I'm just happy, man. I don't really care about the results, and I'm just happy. Once he eventually grabs me, I want to try to break the grip, and I'm trying to break the grip, but man, he's strong. Just try to pop it off like I practice in training, and it didn't come off. Nothing came off. You know, he's bullying me around a lot, pushing me around, but I'm okay. I just want to stay fast and quick, and I'm kind of moving a lot. One of my patches on my new gis kind of already ripped just from me trying to break his grip. He was just so strong, I couldn't break that thing. He must have been over 300 pounds, so I'm not playing around with this guy too much. again, I'm trying to break that grip off my lapel, and man, it just wasn't moving. You can't move the strong guy, you gotta move around the strong guy. And I go back to his sleeve, I try to break the grip, and I'm shaking it, and I'm pulling that thing as hard as I can. And even if I don't break the grip, it's just kind of show that I'm not gonna be a pushover. I'm not gonna give up easily. This is a new gi with a new patch, and man, he ripped that thing off. When you're facing a challenge like that, you gotta meet it head on. And so we're coming at each other. And so I'm just trying to create an opening for something to happen. And I don't really want to pull guard on this big guy because, you know, he's over 300 pounds and it's not going to be pretty. So I get low and I see an opportunity as he's stepping forward. I shoot for a low single with both hands and I'm just pushing as hard as I can. And man, it's not really doing much. And he hooks my leg and kind of pushes me over, and then I had to let go. And now I'm trying to look for a grip, something just to get him off of me. But man, I'm getting crushed underneath him. And so I'm just trying to create a little bit of space, man, just to breathe and get my legs back in. He's just so big that he can just put so much weight down. You know, I'm just using everything just to keep my legs strong and my arms strong. I just feel so much weight and pressure, but I'm not giving up. I'm just hanging in there, fighting. And he's pinning my arm down that was holding his pant. Eventually, I start to think, okay, man, I can get up. I can get up. I just jump out of the butterfly guard to standing. I'm just not in the best position, and I walk forward. Boom! He just foot sweeped me. I hit the ground. And all I remember thinking was, man, I can't let him get on my side because that's going to be it. And I just turn with everything I got. I'm posting on my foot and he's driving into me. And then I turn, boom. I'm just crushed. We're stuck in that position for a little bit, and then the referee stops the match and tries to move us back to the center. And I'll never forget this moment. I start to stand up. And you would think I'm like kind of down and out of it, but I get up and then I'm just kind of laughing. And I'm just kind of happy, just having fun, and I'm just pointing at the crowd, kind of confident. I'm just ready for whatever. And so they restart us, I'm back in turtle. And Willie's getting like a body lock on me. He's getting around my waist. You know, things aren't looking too good for me now. Maybe he was used to guys giving up at this point, but, you know, I don't give up. And I just remember my coach just yelling and, you know, come on, Alec, do something. You gotta go. You gotta push, Alec. And nothing's working. You gotta go through the bad positions, the bad calls, the bad everything, bad refereeing just to get those good positions. Just breathing, and man, my legs are getting tired. I just can't keep holding this dude up. And I'm thinking, man, I'm just gonna get out of here. I just kind of go out the back, go through his legs, and I switch to a single leg. And I just hold the single leg, and I'm just thinking, okay, maybe I can get this. And then he locks around my body, picks me up. And now I'm just thinking, oh man, what in the world? What am I gonna do now? You know, you hear the crowd just getting louder. And I just start kicking my legs as crazy and as wild as I can. And you know, maybe I can just break his grip, and he lets go. And then I just drive into him and he flips over. And I feel his arm grabbing my leg, so I trap it. And then, man, I just see that arm, and man, I just go for that thing. Man, I just pull that arm as hard as I can. And yeah, he taps out, and then I just start celebrating. I never did that before, and I just start running around the whole mat. Just so much emotion, and I don't know, you're just like, you're not yourself anymore. You're just like bigger than yourself. I think I really burned out myself that match. I just gave it everything I had. You know, people still talk about that match sometimes. You know, all that hard work paid off. Driving home tired and just falling on the floor just because I was so tired from training and do my jiu-jitsu and not really have any expectations. It was just icing on the cake to be able to go out there and, you know, show some good jiu-jitsu and get my hand raised, but I was just happy.
Ultimately, you're not fighting an opponent. You're fighting yourself. That's it for this episode. If you like what we do, support us on Patreon. We also have the Liberation Martial Arts program if you want to train with us from wherever you are. There's lots of techniques, exercises, theory, pedagogy, and even political theory, believe it or not. You can also find Liberation Martial Arts online on our Patreon. You can find Southpaw merch at our store. You can find all pertinent links on the show notes. With all that said, thanks for listening.